Hi, my name is Alice and I'm from learntoknitonline.com. Today I'd like to show you how to handle a dropped stitch. So as you can see, I've got some knitting here on my needles. This is the stockingette stitch, and by that I mean all my knit stitches are on one side and all my purl stitches are on the other. Now I'm going to show you two ways to rescue a dropped stitch. One of the ways, the first way, involves a crochet hook. I'm using the same size crochet hook as my needles, but really anything will do that's slightly smaller. If it's a bit bigger, then it's going to be a bit more of a challenge. So it's always handy to have one close by. So let's mimic a dropped stitch. So I go in to knit my next stitch, but somehow it falls off my stitch and oh no, it runs away. So what am I going to do? The first thing I'm going to do is take a deep breath and not panic. And remember, it's just knitting. The second thing I'm going to do is find that very first visible stitch, that visible loop, and I'm going to rescue it. I'm going to make it secure, because as soon as I've got that, then I can take a deep breath and I can work out what I want to do. But until that's secure, then we're still in crisis. So I've got this stitch now on my needle. I'm going to use the crochet hook at first to show you how to rescue it, how to re-knit it. So I'm going to pop it through my crochet hook, and as you can see, I've got 3 bars of yarn here above it. So these are the bars of yarn that I need to use to re-knit that dropped stitch and return it to its rightful place on the left hand needle. So I'm going to do this exactly as I would knitting, as in the stitch is in the front and the yarn is at the back. The yarn is going to be brought through this loop from the back. That's 1. Again, I'm picking up the yarn behind the stitch and pulling it through. That's 2. Last 1. And that's 3. And now I can pop this onto my needle. And as you can see, all the stitches are re-knit, ready to go. So let me knit that one and let's drop another one to show you how to handle that if you didn't have a crochet hook. So here we go. Here's another one. I'm going to pull this, pull this, pull this. So here we are. First thing again I'm going to do is just secure the first visible loop I can see. And by that what I mean is if this was slightly being pulled through, I'm not going to struggle and try and rescue this. I'm actually just going to go for the cleanest first one I can. If that means I end up dropping another row, then that's absolutely fine with me, as long as I've got a secure stitch on my needle. So here we are, I've got the stitch on my needle, and here I've now got 4 bars of yarn that all need knitting. So again, I'm going to recreate this. The way I do this is I have the stitch on my needle, I pick up the yarn behind the stitch, and then my left hand needle, like casting off, just drags it over, and that makes it knit again. So once again, I keep the stitch on my needle, pick up this bar of yarn directly above it, left hand needle picks up the stitch, drags it over, and that re-knits it. And then I've got 2 more to do. I drag it over the bar of yarn, last one, drag it over the bar of yarn, stick it back on my left hand needle, and there we are. It is re-knit, ready to go. For more free knitting tips and tricks, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, learntoknitonline.com, where you can book interactive online lessons with me or buy self-paced video classes. Happy knitting!